Here we're going to talk about Rolle's theorem. Rolle's theorem is another existence theorem. The other main existence theorem we have seen so far is the intermediate value theorem. So Rolle's is another one kind of like that, where it just tells us something has to exist if this scenario is met or these scenarios are met. So we're just going to look at, well, what are those scenarios and what do we know has to exist then? So Rolle's theorem says if f is continuous on the function ab, closed interval, and differentiable on the open interval ab, then if f of a equals f of b, then there is some value c in ab such that f prime of c equals 0. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, let's talk about a few things. So first, continuous. Remember, and this came up with our critical values as well, but let's just make sure we understand our definition of continuous. Remember, continuous means the limit exists everywhere, the function exists everywhere, and the limit equals function value everywhere. So that was our definition of what it means for something to be continuous that we learned about in our limits unit. So in this case, what are we talking about with Rolle's theorem? So it's saying that the y value here, so this is a comma f of a, and then this is b comma f of b. So at this point and at this point, I have the same y value. Well, if I have the same y value, what's the slope between those 2 points? Anyone? Come on, just look at the picture. It's 0, right? So then what Rolle's theorem says is if this is continuous and differentiable everywhere, and the y values are the same at these endpoints, then there has to be some place where the derivative equals 0 in between there. And that should make sense because if the derivative equals 0, then the slope is 0. And so, for example, if I look right here approximately or right here approximately, if I was to draw, what does the derivative represent? Tangent line. Very good. You guys are in sync today. So if I was to draw in my tangent line, I would have, assume those are straight lines, I would have a horizontal tangent line at both of those points, which would have a slope of 0. So again, Rolle's theorem is just saying that that point has to exist. It doesn't tell us necessarily how to find the point. That's why it's an existence theorem. We can find the point because we know how to, but it's just telling us that it has to exist. So that's what Rolle's theorem tells us. Another thing to think about with it is similar to the intermediate value theorem, and we're also going to see this with the mean value theorem here in a minute, is it should just kind of make sense. It's kind of common sense. That's what a lot of these existence theorems are, is they should just kind of be common sense if you think about them.